Amigos, S.P.M aquí. Hoy vamos a probar un juego nuevo llamado... bueno, no está, pero es de Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Lo primero que me pide es seleccionar, confirmar el texto. ¿Jugaste al de Stanley Parable alguna vez? Bueno, para que no sepa de qué va este juego, si es que hay alguien que no lo sabe, era un juego en el que una premisa tan básica como que eres un empleado de una compañía haciendo un trabajo mundano como es teclear lo que te vayan diciendo en una pantalla durante el tiempo que te vayan diciendo en la pantalla. O sea, tenías un ordenador y te daban, joder, seré capaz de explicarme. Te daban instrucciones de lo que tenías que hacer. Pues de buenas a primeras, un día aparentemente normal, todos desaparecen de la oficina y lo único que oyes es una especie, bueno, escuchas a un narrador que va contando lo que va narrando tu aventura. Em, Esta premisa tan básica y a la vez tan interesante, porque no deja de ser curioso el saber qué ha pasado con tus compañeros, pues deriva en lo que viene siendo una serie de caminos, una serie de finales, porque el juego tiene varios finales, cada cual más surrealista, la verdad. Recuerdo haberlo jugado, sí que la respuesta a esta pregunta es sí, lo he jugado. Y no solo eso, conseguí a unos cuantos finales, y ya digo que no los conseguí todos, porque me parece recordar que había algunos que ya involucraban puzzles o pistas en el escenario, pero más o menos algunos sí que conseguí, algunos bastante. Lo que es verdad que los tengo confundidos con otros juegos que salieron de temática similar, de estos juegos en el que puedes conseguir distintos finales. Y no me acuerdo exactamente. Recuerdo uno en concreto que llegabas a una especie de galería de los programadores y no sé si era en este. Bueno, el caso. El juego va de eso, de sales de tu oficina y pues puedes hacer caso a lo que va diciendo el narrador, o puedes llevarle la contraria, lo que consigues que se mosquee. Puedes tomar rutas alternativas. Cada vez que llegas al final de uno de los posibles caminos, em, da la sensación de que puedes ir desbloqueando más. No sé exactamente si eso es así. Bueno, el caso es que el juego ya era interesante, no sé si era del 2017 o por ahí. Estaba hecho en Source, creo que sigue siendo Source, el motor de Valve, del Half-Life. Pero creo que lo han mejorado gráficamente, bueno, han mejorado algo gráficamente y han añadido bastante contenido nuevo. De ahí que justifiquen el precio del juego, al fin y al cabo, tiene todo el contenido original, además de todo el contenido nuevo y mejora gráficas. En fin, el caso es que vamos a echarle un vistazo. Ya me resultó interesante en su día, aunque ya digo que tampoco me acabé metiendo en conseguir todos los finales. Conseguí unos cuantos, ya digo, bastante curiosos, que no voy a desvelar por si los conseguimos aquí. De hecho, lo primero que voy a hacer seguramente el camino que todo Dios hace al comienzo de este juego, que ya explicaré. Y así que no voy a contar finales y seguramente los primeros que consigamos sean los de toda la vida, los del juego original. ¿Jugaste al Stanley Parable, la parábola de Stanley? Sí. Ajusta la barra deslizante hasta que la computadora apenas sea visible. Lo voy a dejar tal que así. Introduce la hora actual. No tengo reloj. Son las 4:51 de la mañana. Bueno, no es mala hora. Pero podías mirar directamente el ordenador. Creo que... A ver, me quité el reloj para cargarlo. Eso de que un poco me recuerda que me ponga el reloj. Vale. Sí, una Mi Band 6 es lo que tengo. 4:51. De momento el mando parece que no funciona. No sé si tendré que hacer algo. Puedes acceder a la configuración de accesibilidad desde el menú principal. Aceptar. Por cierto, si habéis estado viendo mis últimos vídeos, sabréis que he estado con una herida en la boca que me impedía. Ya se está curando, no está curada del todo, todavía la noto. Pero me molestaba, me llegaba a doler al hablar. Ya la cosa ha ido mejor, ya se está curando. De momento no funciona el mando. A ver si tengo que hacer algo con la configuración. Porque recuerdo que el original sí que... Vibración del mando, ¿vale? Caminar con una mano. Presentación. En español también hay subtítulos, tal, mostrar etiquetas de objetos. Muestra etiquetas traducidas sobre... Bueno, venga. Ah, bueno, esto para decir que no. Vale. Vídeo de momento todo al máximo. No es un juego especialmente exigente. Pero no me pilla el mando. Ah, vale, ahora. Vale, le tengo que dar atrás. ¿Eh? No, acaba de funcionar. Un momento, voy a reiniciar el juego, que parece que no me ha pillado el mando. Ver momento. A ver. De momento no empezamos muy bien. De Stanley Parable. Parable. Ultra Deluxe. Vale, a ver. Otra vez. Mm. Ah. A ver. A lo mejor. Momento. Será un momento. Vale. Estoy pulsando A. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Puedo decir algo? Gracias por configurar la hora 2 veces que iniciaste el juego. Mucha gente no se toma en serio este paso, dejan el reloj a las 12 y siguen adelante. Pero tú te tomaste el tiempo de configurarlo y te lo agradezco. Ahora sé que esta experiencia es importante para ti, estás prestando atención. Ni siquiera tengo forma de saber si la hora que pusiste es la correcta. Sí, puedes mirar la hora de mi equipo. ¿Sabes algo? Hagamos un trato. Como cooperaste, la próxima vez que inicies el juego y veas esta pantalla, pon tu hora favorita en el reloj. Adelante, elige la hora que quieras, aunque no sea la correcta, te lo ganaste. Bien, ya te dejo que devuelvas al videojuego. Me conformo con que consigas que me funcione. No me funciona el mando. Cambiando la configuración del mando, nada. Nueva configuración del mando. Nada, es que este mando te permite varias configuraciones. Y la original. No. No funciona el mando. Dios. Voy a hacer una cosa. Un momento. Que seguramente sea... Voy a trastear con la configuración porque una de las cosas que me fastidian es cuando Steam se mete por medio para intentar que usar mandos que no son compatibles y lo joden con los que son compatibles. A ver, vamos a probar. Un momento. De momento lo primero que voy a hacer es buscar si hay algo en los foros. Controller not working. Vale. Vale, no soy el único al menos en los foros. Vale, vamos a hacer una cosa. Stanley Parable, vamos a ir a la configuración del mando. Administrar, ¿cómo era esto? Propiedades. Mando. Desactivar Steam Input. Vale. Ya no ha... Ahora ya en principio con esto Steam no se mete... Perdón. Desactivado el Steam Input, por lo cual Steam no se mete por medio para trastear. Creo que lo he dejado configurado. Voy a volver a poner la hora que es. No son 59. Venga. No, no es mi hora favorita. ¿O será que no pudiste resistirte y me diste la hora correcta otra vez? Sí, fue la buena. Después de todo, sé que disfrutas de poner la hora correcta. Ahora quiero saber qué tan precisa es la hora 4:59. ¿Usamos otra barra deslizante? Pues es precisa, la verdad. Bastante precisa. ¿Sabes una cosa? Sin importar la precisión del reloj, lo estoy pasando genial ajustando estas configuraciones. Yo todavía no he empezado a jugar. Siento que estoy conociéndote mejor y entiendo cómo te gustan las cosas. Reunir datos es bueno. Ojalá tuviera más barras deslizantes, pero ya las usamos todas. Quizá pueda inventar algunas barras deslizantes nuevas para reunir más datos sobre ti. No debería ser muy difícil, sí, voy a crear algunas. Deberían estar listas la próxima vez que inicies el juego. Yo lo que quiero es que funcione el juego, que me funcione el mando. Vale, el caso es, como veis, me lo detecta, pero no me lo detecta. Le estoy dando atrás y no hace nada. Eh, vale, tercer intento. Ay. A ver. Volvemos a salir del juego. Al menos vamos a divertirnos. Mando. Está desactivado. Mando de equipos. Eh, a ver. Había una forma, pero había que pasar a Big Picture. Ah, para configurar esto. A ver. Stanley Parable. Administrar producto. Configuración del mando. Soporte desactivado. Vale. Como debe de ser. A lo mejor os interesa ver. Las opciones del mando. Desactivación forzosa. Preferencia del mando. Activada. Vale. Configuración del mando. Desactivada. Vale, vamos a jugar. Otra barra deslizante. Vaya. Oh. Aquí. Hasta que el menú cambie. ¿Qué menú? No cambie. Esa última. ¿Cuál de estas dos palabras inventadas te resulta más interesante? ¿Ocuboin, ¿Ocuboincal o frimósico? Quizá... vamos a dejarlo aquí. Nos gusta la barra deslizante, ¿vale? ¿Sabes qué hora es en el momento? Sí. La hora que es en este momento la hora correcta se supone. Bueno, ¿y qué es el tiempo? Una percepción. ¿Hay algo acerca de ti que no me hayas dicho? Sí, por supuesto. ¿Ayuda? Sí, claro, si necesitas ayuda. O me las volverás a visitarme, sí. Vale, no funciona. Vamos a iniciar la partida. A ver si hay suerte. Y aunque esté fallando clic para
This
meter.
is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Bueno. Lamentablemente no funciona el mando. Vale, a ver. Mando. Activado Steam Input. El problema es que el Steam Input no se lleva bien con este mando. Tercer intento. No, cuarto, quinto. He perdido la cuenta. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Alguien lo sabe de verdad? Ahora sí que responde. Claro que no, nadie sabe nada. Tú y yo ni siquiera nos conocemos. Somos como desconocidos. Y ajusté todas las configuraciones del juego exactamente como querías, pero ¿quién no lo ha hecho? Algo que hago, es mi trabajo. Y ahora el trabajo está hecho. No tengo más información que reunir. Ya conseguí de ti todos los datos que puedo. Y sigo sin saber quién eres en verdad. Y tú no sabes quién soy yo. Y ninguno de nosotros sabe qué hora es. Yo sí sé qué hora es. Las 5 y 7 de la mañana. Supongo que algunas configuraciones son inconfigurables. Pero para serte sincero, el reloj no hace nada en el juego de todos modos. ¿No? Pero esperaba que al menos si hubiera reloj de pared, que aparecieran en hora. Yo estaré aquí la próxima vez que inicies el juego, pero no pasa nada. Los videojuegos me ahogo. Los videojuegos están hechos para que se jueguen en soledad. Depende. Te gusta estar en soledad, ¿no? Quizás eso sea lo único que realmente sé de ti. Bueno, es hora de que me vaya. Hay una configuración más que debemos ajustar, pero todavía no estoy en condiciones de hacerlo. No es mi trabajo, pero no pasa nada. Tal vez me verás de nuevo, si puedes encontrarme. Hablar pronto. ¿Hablar pronto? Bueno, parece que de esta... Ahora sí que parece que funcione. Bueno, a ver, lo dicho, tengo que... Vamos a por fin a empezar el juego. Supongo que continuaremos por donde estábamos.
This is the story of a man.
Esto ya lo hemos visto. No recuerdo... Hola de nuevo, consigue tu primer logro. No recuerdo casi nada del juego, ¿vale? Hostia, vamos súper rápidos. Vale. Agacharse. No tenemos saltos, pero parece que tecleamos. No sé qué de 56 años. Providien Partition por 56 años. Vale, pues saltar no podemos saltar. Es curioso, cuando no hay nada delante. Suena. No puedes saltar. Gracias por el logro, no puedes saltar. Cuando pulso el botón suena como teclas. Pero si me pongo delante de esto, no hace nada. Vale. Pues nada. Vamos a hacer, como ya digo, como hace todo el mundo, la mayoría, cuando empieza este juego. Seguir las órdenes. Se hacen dos cosas. O seguirlas todas o no seguir ninguna. Tirar por los extremos. Nosotros vamos a hacer lo que nos diga el narrador, al menos la primera vez. Que si no recuerdo mal, va al final del control mental. Pero bueno, eso ya veremos cuando...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿Quién me ha cerrado la puerta?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Como veis, el narrador, pues, no solo dicta lo que hace, sino que
No
reacciona.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
¿Quién se ha pedido? Ufarte. Digo, hay cosas que... A ver, recuerdo los finales y recuerdo jugar, cómo llegar a alguno de ellos. Pero no recuerdo detalles del juego. Recuerdo lo de la línea amarilla, eso me acuerdo también. A ver si la conseguimos. Bueno.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
¿En serio? ¿Me estás retando?
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Tengo un mando con turbo,
Perhaps
muchacho.
50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Forward 7. Vale. Aún así voy a volver a cliquear esto unas cuantas veces. He dicho, tengo turbo. Vale, vamos a la puerta 417 si la encontramos, que no tiene ni siquiera por qué existir. Había, por ejemplo, secretos o finales alternativos que te obligaban a pulsar en zonas concretas. 418. 419 que te he puesto a 417 no existe. Está en una zona donde no llegamos. A ver, la hora. Esperaba que... No está en hora. Pero esperaba que estuviera en hora. Ah, sí que existe. Vale. Pues tú lo has querido.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Vale, si esto es conseguir un final. 437. 36, 36, 36, 36. Aquí.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, joder. Aquí.
Now, back to door number 437.
Joder. El problema de esto es que no... Que hay que estar atento.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
¿The copy machine? ¿Dónde está la copy machine? Copy machine está allí, pero esa no es. Tiene que ser una a la que podamos acceder. No quiero ir a esas dos puertas. Porque eso es la primera elección. Tiene que haber una fotocopiadora. A la que podamos llegar, ¿no? No. Vale, pues la tendré en cuenta. Ah, está aquí escondida.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
No podemos trepar. 22, 21. Aquí. Oh.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Relájate.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
No sé qué estaba pensando, la verdad. Gracias por demostrarme que estaba equivocado. Smile. Like what you... No. I like work. I just hate my boss. Me encanta el trabajo, pero odio a mi jefe. Semi Valentín. ¿Quién se ha apellido? Vale. Nos falta un zoom. Search name. Necesito un zoom para ver qué pone ahí. No, acabo de verlo. Oh. Oh. Este tipo de cosas son las que no recordaba que podías hacer. No sé si afectará. Bueno, a ver, algo va a hacer desde luego. Lo que no sé es si me servirá para un final nuevo. Quiero recordar que sí que había algo de esto. Bueno. Lo dicho, vamos a empezar haciendo caso al narrador.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hay pasos, una vez los has tomado, que te impide volver atrás. No sé por qué me da una sensación a la backrooms.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No alterar sin consultar al gestor de la pizarra blanca. Meeting room, floor, fork, xxx. Group, cabal, planning. Este tipo de cosas son las que no le presté mucha atención y me consta que podía sacar cosas de estas cosas. O sea, lo diré. Podía sacar pistas, no sé si finales. No se ha movido por aquí. Hay... Ah, que está yo. Hate Mondays, vale. Muy bien, Garfield. Is that hot? Prof. Beneficios, beneficios, beneficios. En tu minuto de apreciación del jefe de... Bueno, da igual. Ayuda, soy un posit. Vale. Aquí había una forma de... Aquí podías hacer algo.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Creo que había una forma... Ahí había... ¿No había algo que hacer ahí? Bueno.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Baño ejecutivo. Dinero en la mañana, dinero en la tarde, dinero para desayunar, dinero crujiente, baños extremos, time y un reloj. las páginas beige en lugar de las páginas amarillas. Bueno, aquí estamos.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Si no fueras porque me lo has dicho.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Vamos a poner
2845.
a ver si 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Aquí empieza la cosa a ser más espeluznante. Vale, que había suelo, podías meterte directamente aquí sin saber si había suelo.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Me arrepiento. No, no veo. Coño, susto me ha dado.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escapar. Vale, la cámara no sigue. Un botón gordo para la luz.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ese es un botón. Esto. No es nada, Employees Observation Protocol. Protocolo de observación de los empleados. Serie de números. Colillas.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom.
Aquí justo delante. 427. Diría que sí, que se parece a que es la oficina nuestra. Un momento, el 459 tiene algo brillante verde en una caja. Bueno, el 459 y este de aquí son iguales, pero 491 es lo mismo, pero reflejado. Ah, qué lástima. Pensaba que sí que de verdad había una cámara para cada empleado, pero no, veo que se están reutilizando algunas imágenes. Oh, han despedido al empleado 601. Y tengo curiosidad por saber quién es el empleado 1. Ah, hay otro empleado. El 104 ha sido despedido. 4 3 4. 4 3 4 ponía. No. El que pone despedido parece que tiene 400. Ah, no sé lo que pone. Da igual. Quería ver si correspondía de verdad. Podré caerme sin querer. Bueno. Continuamos. No voy a mezclarme ahora. No voy a ponerme a buscar. Allí hay uno que está mal. El 2, 3, 4. Que tiene la misma imagen que el empleado número 1. Bueno, ¿esto qué es? El ascensor que...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Vale. Me vendría bien una linterna, la verdad. Hay zonas bastante oscuras. De hecho, a ver si puedo subir el brillo. Pues va a ser que no. Mola el efecto este. Bueno, vamos a apagar la máquina. Aunque está apagada, pero bueno. Main control input. Idle awaiting input. Algo de código por allí. Vale.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Vale. Off. Tal como... Oh. Esto está parpadeando en rojo, me queda poca batería. 10%.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
No me deja mirar.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Vale. Se supone que es el final feliz. Pero no, no hay final. Bueno, sí, hay finales, pero volvemos al punto de compartida. Y ahora vamos a llevar la contraria en todos los sentidos al narrador.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
La textura...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Detecto sarcasmo.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Creo que deberíamos irnos. Seguro que si me quedo más tiempo acabarás diciendo algo, pero no tengo paciencia. Una última vuelta. Y aquí es como si pudiera hacer algo. Bueno, vámonos.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Lo que era es un rebelde.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Vale. De nuevo.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Me encanta esta habitación.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating.
Sí, ya me voy.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
La primera, la segunda.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Vale, no voy a saltar esta vez.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Vale, podía haber saltado
Someone
ahí.
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Uy, uy, uy. ¿Quién es ella?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, ¿quién me ha estado esperando? ¿Quién es ella? Oh, mierda.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
No puedo hablar con ella. No puedo confiar en ella. No sé quién es ella. No quiero. Tiro del cable.
As Stanley picked up the phone,
Ha funcionado.
light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Sí.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
Yo tampoco.
Double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
Vaya.
How is that even possible?
No lo sé.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
¿El qué?
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Paco.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Venga, adelante.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
No puedo volver a enchufar el teléfono. Sí que se ha corrompido la habitación. Vale, ahora no me deja ni saltar. Todo está súper blindado, no me dejan hacer nada. Desconfiado.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Sí que ha puesto seguridades. No puedo saltar. Y... vaya. Bueno. Gracias.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, se está jodiendo el mundo. Oh. Sí que se está glitcheando. Perdón. Ahora sí. ¿No? ¿Ahora? Vale, cogeré la puñetera puerta izquierda.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that you... My story. You've destroyed my work.
Lo siento.
Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Oh.
I have to.
Bueno. Pues sí que se la ha tomado mal. Oh. Esto da ya mal rollo.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it.
Pero eso ya lo he hecho.
So hard to make... Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
¿Me ha oído el juego?
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Ah.
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Oh.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting...
¿Vas a reiniciar cada vez que haga esto?
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Esta...
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Bueno, supongo que vamos a tener que hacerle caso.
Putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and
Lo
you'll be
intentaré.
fine. Right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ay. Contento. El juego está entero.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
¿Por qué no puedo abrir esta puerta ahora?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Que me estás impidiendo hacerlo todo? ¿Me ha bloqueado las escaleras hacia abajo? No se fía de mí para nada. No se fía de mí. Me ha capado todas las opciones. Hay algo ahí detrás, lo veo. No mucho. Oh, ha cambiado el despacho.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Hola. Está el micrófono. Está usando el micro, no creo.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Nightshark 115. Nightshark. No.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
¿Estás usando el micro?
This one single thing for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there.
Mentira.
Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Se ha mosqueado. Oh,
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
the end.
I need you to walk through the door.
Oh,
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
vale.
Anything.
Se ha pasado de...
And then you can never know. I need this. The story needs it.
Creo que se ha pasado de Source a Unity o siempre ha estado en Unity.
Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay.
Valve.
It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Oh,
That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
vale. Un final más. Ok, ya nos hemos pasado de hora.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿En serio? No. No lo voy a mirar ahora. Nuevo contenido.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hay muchos finales del original que todavía no hemos visto.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Vale,
Stanley decided to go up
esto ya
to
vuelve a
his boss's
funcionar.
office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, upstairs, no, downstairs. Oh, no. No, este final lo odio. Creo que sé cuál es. En el que crees que estás soñando y es un final súper largo. Vale. No tengo curiosidad por ver primero este.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 284. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yo tampoco quiero alargar mucho más el vídeo. Quiero al menos ver un final más. ¿Puedo volver?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
No veo un carajo.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Soy así un tío despierto.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor?
No.
It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time?
Espero.
The suspense is killing me.
Espero que sea la oficina del jefe. ¿Por qué me cambias la perspectiva? ¿Es la oficina del jefe? Es la oficina del jefe.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
Qué sorpresa.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute.
Espera, necesito yo también procesarlo. Cuando quieras, ¿eh? Vale, si esto lo he hecho alguna vez, no lo sabía, no lo recordaba.
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait.
Dime.
No, I need more time to process.
Todo el que quiera. ¿Ya?
Right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality, As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Vale. ¿Está bien? Vale. Volvamos al ascensor.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator.
Por
How did
supuesto.
I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Oh. No me digas eso. Adivina. ¿Nada?
You know what?
Dime.
I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley.
Sí.
You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Vale.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley.
Sí, señor.
What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly,
Ay, no quiero alargar mucho más el vídeo.
Unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know?
Sí,
People look up to you. Which is why
No diría
I didn't know
tanto,
when
pero...
to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you.
¿Ah, sí?
So that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stan.
No sé si estoy preparado.
I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
Pero porque confías en mí.
We're here.
Vale, este final no lo he llegado a ver nunca, creo.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
No, no puedo ir más. Bueno. ¿Cómo lo hicimos? La pirámide, el chico que fue a Marte. Todos los ojos puestos en Stanley. En directo. En vivo y en directo. The Stanley Parable.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
¿Esta? ¿No? The Storyteller. Oh, Dios. Preguntas y respuestas con la primera máquina consciente del mundo. Oh.
All right, are you ready?
No.
I told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart.
Gracias por tu apoyo.
I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Oh, eso me ha llegado. Eso me ha llegado.
They're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Desde luego. Al escenario, bienvenido Stanley. Necesitamos almendras, una silla, chicle, una mesa y una barra de nueces. Oh, 427. Ese soy yo. Un libro que se llama Arriba de nuevo, abajo de nuevo. La historia de Stanley. Min Control Facility, 427. Jugar la demo. La aventura espera. Ojalá estuvieras aquí. Aloja a minigolf. Felicidades, Stanley. ¿Recuerdas de dónde vienes? Tus compañeros de trabajo. Ja, vaya, oh. Stanley, yo, papá. Stanley, yo, papá. Historia. Con 6 años. Gracias por enseñarme ese truco molón de monopatín en el aparcamiento. Mola mucho. Una suerte en el escenario. Rompete una pierna, campeón, tu jefe. Me encanta la forma en que te montas en los ascensores. Nadie cuenta las historias como tú. De nuevo, rompete una pierna, Stanley. Amor verdadero de tu... Mi verdadero amor por ti crece cada día. Me hace sentir viva. Tu mujer. Del final del apartamento. No hemos llegado al final del apartamento porque decidimos desconectar el teléfono. Pero me mola, me mola. Este final no lo había visto. Anda que no hay libros. Arriba, abajo y arriba de nuevo. No, arriba de nuevo y abajo de nuevo. Bueno, a ver. Menos mal. Haciendo bien. The Lord. Metan Greeting. Bueno. Oh. Que no sé que no había más gente en este juego. Gracias, gracias. Gracias. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Oh. Qué final. Qué final, pero bueno, ya sí que no tengo más tiempo, con este final extra, ya que por fin hemos conseguido configurar el juego. Este final no lo había visto yo antes. No sé si estaba en el juego original, la verdad. Pero bueno, tenemos una puerta que pone contenido nuevo, que no hemos explorado. Tenemos todavía finales viejos que sé cómo conseguir. Tenemos opciones para escoger. Pero no va a ser hoy. Así que sí, voy a seguir jugándolo. Quiero ver las nuevas sorpresas de este juego y recordar las viejas. Que ya digo que no conseguí todas las viejas y tampoco me acuerdo de ellas, de todas ellas. Así que va a haber alguna sorpresa que otra. Pero bueno, esto es todo por hoy. Gracias por acompañarme y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. Hasta otra.